we are talking now about the high-rise building, this assignment. I know this proposal, right?
Yep.
This was, I don't know, you can show us something, because I remember when we were doing this assignment with you, you come up, you were telling something right now, no, that you were proposing, basically the assignment is, Bangkok is like two cities in one. One is horizontal,
Yeah.
okay, and another one is the new one is the vertical one,
Yeah.
right? So then the horizontal one start with timber. The first houses, no, in Bangkok it was like a village. It was with timber houses. Then later they come up with another type influencing with the people from China, and then they start to build the shop houses.
Yeah.
With the concrete and timber, and that Bangkok is like 2-3 stories. No, we can talk about 15 meters, 20 meters,
Yeah.
no, 9 meters high, depends. Okay, and then suddenly the new Bangkok is totally vertical with high-rise building.
Yeah.
So then when we launched our assignment, we give only just these guidelines to teach the students to make them to observe that the city is different. No? And then I remember that we put you one location in Bangkok, that was Asok, that is the center.
Yeah.
And then we ask you, to all of you, know, how is the future of Bangkok? How do you see Bangkok? And then how the high-rise building can represent the Bangkok, no? How do you understand Bangkok, no? And you come up with interesting ideas, no?
So
Can you explain how do you see Bangkok?
Yes.
Being from Cambodia.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, when I see Bangkok, in a way, it was the same as where I'm from too. But mostly, it's very grounded. That is what I feel like. Even though they have a lot of high rise, but the local people, they will always revolve around the more grounded space area. So, and I see Bangkok as casual in a way, that even though you have this big fancy high rise or this fancy restaurant, but next to it there's always some pagoda, street food or whatever that is. So it's very casual in a formal country in a way. Then that's why I created kind of a concept idea to start myself on what I understand Bangkok is, and I call it BANG-KASUAL. So BANG-KASUAL is the idea of Bangkok plus casualities, on how a city of Bangkok is, which is unique on how it can be very casual, but and then the next hour it becomes different way. So it's always changing in that urban space. So that was the idea that I come up with, and I in this topic that I try to should I show?
Yeah, you can show
So
us.
I made this artwork, graphic, earlier into the design stage to kind of understand myself what make Bangkok is, and what are the personality of Bangkok kind in a way. So, Bangkok is everywhere. If you walk, you will see 7-Eleven in a way. So 7-Eleven is
The 7-Eleven is the convenience store, no? That
Yeah.
you can find everything. no?
So 7-Eleven is everywhere. You will see shop house. You will see temples. You will see like temples next to club. You will see some contradiction of programming and functions of the city, and to produce those idea of image of the city into my high rise, I have to find connection on how I can develop this idea. So then I talk with my professor, of course, is Dan Miguel, and we were talking, and then we were talking about one ideology, which is called the McDonaldism.
McDonaldism. That
Which-
is in architecture is one concept, no? That is
Yeah.
when you produce bad architecture in a
Yeah.
massive way, right?
Yeah, it's like
The burger, right?
Yeah.
You have a kind of a standard, and then you repeat a lot, and then you lost the good taste of the burger, no? Just to have a big quantity, no?
Yeah.
Then I remember, yes, we talked about that, and then but you went further. You developed this thing in a different way.
Yeah, for me, I see it like this. I see it as a set of standards, but if a thing is having a set of standard, which means like that thing is familiar to some people. So that's why in Thailand, I think the word 7-Elevenism is is our McDonald'sism, because like McDonald's is not that big. Fast food in general is not that big here. So 7-Eleven is pretty big. So I feel like everyone,
7-Eleven is something local also.
Yeah,
It's from
it's-
Thailand, no?
yeah.
So, and it's in everywhere.
yeah, so everywhere is like every 5 step you walk, you see 7-Eleven.
And you go to the 7-Eleven
Yeah.
3, 4, 5 times a day. Huh?
Yeah, so then I feel like if anything in Bangkok that is very familiar to anyone, even tourists, even the local, even the kids, the elders, even the monks, it would be 7-Eleven, the convenience store. Then for me, I try to use those ideas as a familiarity of the city. So then, in order to design the high rise, I need to translate it into tangible, something that is tangible that we can all research and know. So I asked myself like a question is what is the 7-Elevenism of Bangkok? Between what are the category that make Bangkok Bangkok in a way. So we're going deeper than just the plot of Asok. We're studying the whole city as a whole now. Then
That is a good question. Let me interrupt. Huh? Because when we are thinking Bangkok and how is the future of Bangkok, okay, we always use urban theories, no?
Yeah.
That the super block in Barcelona, the 15-minute cities in Paris, the slow city in Milano. So it's theories about how the city is going to be developed for the future. So then in this assignment, the thing that we are asking is, if Barcelona has this theory of the super block,
Yeah.
Paris has the 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So which one is the theory of Bangkok? No,
Yeah.
and then you come with a very strong theory to envision, no, the future of Bangkok, no, how Bangkok could be developed in the future, no, and that was something that. Please explain us. No?
So
As you were doing, yeah.
So in my understanding from before I come up with the BANG-KASUAL work was I need to find out what is familiarity and what was make Bangkok quite unique as a city. Then it doesn't have to be like symbolism, like no, oh Bangkok have this and that, or the signage that's what made it Bangkok in a way. But we have to understand it in terms of urban perspective deeper than that. So I find 6 majority stuff that what I, in my opinion, as I did conduct the research as come as the Bangkok, is a city is built of informality, which means like, what do I mean? Which means like the streets always changing and it's always a sense of informal because you would buy, for example, in Europe or in other country, you would buy like, for example, fruit or stuff you would buy in a supermarket that you have to go across into an AC conducted space. But in Bangkok or in some of the other Southeast Asian, you can buy those on a cart along the street. And then the next hour, it would change into a different type
So
of
you're
program.
talking about the food vendors,
Yeah,
no?
food vendors.
That we see in the street of Bangkok.
Yeah, it's like the people is improvising the city every single day. It doesn't
So
have
then
a
the
fix.
street is all the time changing.
Yeah, all the time
24
changing.
hours. Yeah.
Yes,
A good point. Huh?
Yeah, and one more thing is sacred plus chaotic coexisting. This thing is quite new for me because in my country it's not popular to do this thing because you would have a sacred area and then you would have the fun and party area different way or far away. But here is what shocked me is like you would have a pagoda, right? And then next it's like walking distance to it, you would have a club or a bar or Khao Street or something like that. That is the contradiction on it's like the black and white. It's like you have sacred place and then you would have a place where you go and make sin.
Yes.
So
that is something, that contradiction is very common to find in the street of Bangkok. No?
Yes.
And that one, I mean, the people like or people hate, no? Because they can like in a cultural shock sometimes, no? At least for Western.
And then those things also apply to the kind of the contradiction, layered contradiction of infrastructure as well. Like you would have a very fancy building, but then like the podium, you walk across a bit, you have wet market for the locals, and then right next to it you would have a dealership. Then those contradiction of layer on how the urban is doing is quite what make a Bangkok is. So Bangkok especially in Bangkok in the city urban space, you have a lot of shop house. Everywhere is this shop house, but those shop house people would preserve the structures and they would change the facade and some of the layout quite a bit. Then the facade, some of them would be glass for some of the company or offices building, And then right next to it, the plot that they didn't buy it, it would just be an old rundown shop house. And those things is quite new for me as well, because like normally if a block is like this, people would just develop the whole thing. But this thing is like the contradiction is quite strong as well.
So, but it's something that at the end is like you are talking like Bangkok apparently is look like it's a chaos when we see it, but it's like it's control, no?
Yeah, it's control. Yeah.
Like with the tiny, there is a reason to do this.
Yeah.
No? But when you see everything look like a full contradiction,
Yeah.
but there is a kind of logic. Maybe
Yeah,
it's,
logic.
it's the way of how Bangkok is doing the
Yeah.
things. No, that is the logic of Bangkok.
Yeah.
The no logic become the logic of Bangkok.
Yeah.
No?
And then I think those things also apply to the next point that I'm gonna say is like the street level energy, because once you have shop house, which means you would have shop on the street, and you have houses which is more private on upper floor, right? So people would open the shops and whatever family business that they run on the street level, and then you would have the pavement, you have the road. Then some of the shop they would extend it out into the pavement of your sidewalk. And then those things what make Bangkok. It doesn't have to be like as a bad thing if you eat a little bit of the street, right? So when you walk, you will see through every shop house on your right or your left, and then you will see shops. Alright, so it's very ground level energy living. Even though you have a lot of high rise, but the people actually, the local or the people who experience the space is very grounded level because of those ideas.
Actually, the people is living in the street, no? Of Bangkok. There is a lot of life. No?
Yeah.
When you go to the street and you see all the food vendors, the shop houses, there is people from everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's something quite the identity, no? On that.
Yeah. That's why I experience too, because sometimes you would have a destination that you want to go, for example, a restaurant, but normally it doesn't have to be on the ground. Sometimes on top of some shop house, but high rise. And that is my country as well. You would walk up 2 floors and then you have a cafe. Or in Vietnam, it's also a lot. But here it's always on the ground floor and the shop house, and then it would connect it up in a way. But some people would just open the ground floor, and then the upper is more private housing that they would live in. Yeah, and related to it is another one that I find interesting is liquid movement. It's like liquid movement.
Movement. Okay. How you explain this concept?
Which means everywhere you look, everything, everywhere, all at once is just moving a lot. And the view when you're on the ground and you look not up but not down, but you look horizontal in your eye levels, you will see your road, you will see BTS, and then you will see plane flying all over.
Yeah,
and then
that is true.
The ground level, you will see bike car running so fast, and then you will see train going the other way, going the opposite way, and then at the background you will see 7-Eleven for some reason, and then you will see a plane fly on top, and then you're like it's a bit overwhelming, but that's what makes Bangkok is you have to take everything in. So then like even though you don't notice it, because like we live in Bangkok for quite a bit, then the BTS railway along the road is not normal for me, because
yeah. I never saw Bangkok in that way, no, but it's true. It's interesting. It's pop up in my mind that beside my house there is one street.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I go from my house to the BTS, I need to cross one little soil, and it's the perception, the experience, like you are saying. I mean, it's wherever I look, it's people or something moving.
Yeah.
It's true.
Fully
true. Huh?
Yeah. I think in between from the ground and the BTS, it would be the messy electric pole line.
Yeah. You need to highlight this thing because it's difficult to not see that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how you capture the environment of an urban space. And then
actually, yesterday we have a review, one presentation, and then when the student going to talk about the proposal, the first thing that they highlight is this issue of the cable. So then they were explaining all the urban context of the area, and then they say, so our proposal, just to remove the cables. You are talking a lot of things about the flooding, the character of this area and all these things, and then the proposal is just to remove the cable. It's something really specific, no? That is a target, a dream of Bangkok. But I think that Bangkok is that. No, you remove the cables, it's lost a lot of the identity of the city.
Yeah.
But one day I believe that they will remove it.
Yeah.
Maybe so not remove it. If you cut I don't think that is going to affect it to anything.
I mean, we will remove it. We just tidying it up a bit, but yeah, but it looks good. Though. I like it.
But then all this vision is very interesting. What do you get with this vision of your Bangkok?
Yeah, after all of that understanding, like you have to sum it up in one word or one key idea to produce it more forward. So that's why I come up with the BANG-KASUAL, which is Bangkok plus casuality. Which is the city it's a very developed country. It's a rich country, but people is still living by the improvising on their daily life, and whatever their programming function or user of the day, that's how determine the city moving in throughout the day. So it's like 24-hour metabolism. A place can be an empty street, and then at night they will close it down, open a pub. And then in the next morning, it become a road again, right? Or Sunday, they will close it for event or whatever that is. So those are the casualties of the people in living in this urban.
Actually, that one is very interesting in terms that when we ask to students to draw the same street, no? We ask you to do the front street, and then later on we ask you put the activities in the day, the activities in the afternoon, in the evening, the night, and then see the differences, how the city become a scenario, and then the city is transforming, no, in 24 hours, totally different. All these things generate. To explain how the city lives and how one space is transforming, it becomes very interesting, that exercise. Sometimes we see things very, very interesting.
Yeah, because essentially architecture is all about human. It's always come to human and socialism and urban. You design a building for people. It's not like you design a building profoundly to, I'm going to make a name for myself. It's not, like you can have that idea, but at the end of the day, you design it for a purpose. So I think to understand how the user, the one who used your building, behave or act, I think it's a big point on how I.
So then, if now is pop up this question, no? Then in the case that we should do this BANG-KASUAL in Phnom Penh, will be different.
It would be different for sure.
Quite different things.